I was the unexpected item in the bagging area. You thought that you knew all the things that you put in your basket, but now you're held up, red lights flashing, and the assistant is busy. Maybe I'm a bag, or maybe that toothpaste weighs more than you thought. It was me. It was me.
Hands. You've got hands. I've definitely got hands, but hands are weird. They got that bit. They got that bit sort of bends. I mean, they all bend in like one or two ways each, and that's hugely upsetting. This one only bends. Well, that one bends in two ways. These bend in three ways because they got the one of them, and then they got all the lines and stuff. Hands are weird. And I don't think my thumb should do that. It hurts when I. Ow, yeah. Hands are weird. And the nails, they're not actually made of nail, are they? Otherwise they'd be grey. Hands are weird. Hands are weird. Hands are really weird. Hands are weird. Maybe it's just mine. I think it's all hands. Hands are weird.
About knaves, they liars, they steal and they're known to misbehave. They will tell you that they can take all your secrets to the grave, but they will speak them to the world for the attention that they crave. The only kind of person that could ever trust a knave would be another knave. Additional knave. Hey, look over there, it's a pair of knaves, both loathsome and hateful and neither have shaved. You can't believe a knave, and that is the trouble with knaves. You can't believe a knave. The knave of hearts will steal your tarts and claim them as his own. He'll take away your woman and leave you all alone. Knave is an archaic and pejorative term for an unscrupulous man or household servant. Knaves will pave the way for great injustices, and no one is safe, they are the devil's slaves. You can't believe a knave, and that is the trouble with knaves. You can't believe a knave.
Where do all the bad colours go? When they break the law, they get sent to prison.
No,
Will you take us to Mount Splashmore?
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 no,
Will you take us to Mount Splashmore? Will you take us to Mount Splashmore?
no,
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 Will you take us to Mount Splashmore?
no.
Will you take us to Mount Splashmore? Will you take us to Mount Splashmore?
If I take you, will you two shut up and quit bugging me?
Yeah, of course. Well. Will you take us to Mount Splashmore?
Yes,
Will you take us to Mount Splashmore?
yes,
Will you take us to Mount Splashmore?
yes,
Will you take us to Mount Splashmore?
yes.
Thanks, Dad.
I'm in film.
You have to get a new Ben. This one's all stupid.
Hey Liam, I made us a Bebo page. Ah, Bebo shut down.
That's funny. That's current, isn't it?
Ah!
Anyone in? Never occurred to me how much like one of your feet properly looks like a bell end.
Hey Liam, I made us a Bebo.
Idiot.
There's no way to talk about yourself.
True.
Fucking idiot.
Okay then. Okay, yes, I know you're angry. Ow, my ass. Look at this. I'm going to draw a frowny face because I'm really disappointed at you. Only we're going to know it's there. Praise, please. Right, be French.
No French, not James Acaster.
Brick. Corduroy. Colombian hash.
Lick the stump!
Filibuster. Moose furs. No! 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 No!
Come with me,
Come.
and you'll be
Ben.
in a world of photosensitive seizures.
Lavender oil. Marjorie. Marge Simpson. Abe Simpson. Abe Lincoln. Top hats. Fedoras. Incels. Hand jobs. Hand lotion. Lotion. Oils. Back to lavender oil. There you go. Good at one. I have nothing else to give. Right, go stand somewhere.
3, 2, 1.
Wait, hang on. I'm having not just second thoughts, but third, fourth, and fifth thoughts. I don't know if I should do this right.
No, this is not. Fucking hell.
3.
No, hang on, wait.
I didn't tell him to do that. Why didn't you tell?
Milk.
That's the job, mate.
must have, like, fallen on a bullet and it, like, drove itself into my gut.
Hey, don't worry. You don't have to make up stories here. Save that for court. Save that for court.
Excuse me, Mr. Smithers. Bart may be seriously hurt. Could we possibly go ahead of you?
No. I really would rather get this taken care of. No. I really would rather. No.
Excuse me, little lady. The wheelbarrow line is over there. Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers are a dangerous mix. Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers are a dangerous mix. Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers are a dangerous mix. Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers are a dangerous mix.
Excuse me, Mr. Smithers.
Excuse me, little lady.
Excuse me, Mr. Smithers.
Excuse me, little lady.
Excuse me, Mr. Smithers.
Excuse me, little lady.
Excuse me, Mr. Smithers.
Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers. Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers. Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers. Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers are dangerous.
So we've agreed that we would do a bit about not knowing how to start the show. That was the conversation we just had. And then I said, I'm going to fucking sabotage it. And Ben was like, you wouldn't do that. We're friends. And I said, no, Ben. We're colleagues. Over to you. Over to you, Ben. What you got? What you got?
Well, I mean, just as like, yeah, we'll do that. We'll have that as the bit that opens up. And you went, I'm going to sabotage it. So I was going to open with saying how you were going to sabotage things. I wanted to sabotage your sabotage, but
Not fast
you
enough.
got there first.
Not
so
fast
you
enough.
Pre-sabotaged my sabotaging sabotage.
It's a 3-way sabotage. It's a...
Which is the same as just a sabotage.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah.
you got there before me. And
Yes. But I also gave it a beat and politely waited to see if you were going to say anything, because I know, like, the ultimate sin of podcasting is talking over each other, so I wanted to give you an opportunity, and then it was quiet, and I was worried about dead air. It was a very fast thought process. My name's Liam.
Which is impressive for this time of day.
And that's Ben.
Hello.
Saboteur is French, I believe. Today we are doing a live stream all about fashion. And Ben's got uncontrollable gas.
I do have uncontrollable gas.
I guess that text you sent wasn't received, huh?
My neighbours are putting up shelves.
Right.
I've been assured that they are on the last shelf, so this shouldn't happen. I'm going to be pessimistic and say more than once.
Okay, what? As in an additional one more?
I would say an additional one more,
Okay.
because shelves are rarely just one screw.
Certainly. They're like two. Maybe
At
two
least.
pairs. Yeah. Yeah, two doubles.
So, yeah, I might just turn my mic off when that happens to spare people.
Or we could just talk about that.
Not that you're spare people, you are all valid and whole and what needs to be good in this world. You have the light inside of you all the time. All you need to do is just bring it out. You're not a spare person. You're not an extra. You're an important, special little dude. But you're also not special. Because everyone is. So no one is. But that doesn't make it not special.
I'm a spare person. We couldn't get the one we wanted, so we've got me instead. Are you
it's
talking
helpful,
lots to try and... Because you're aware that you might have to mute yourself in a second, so you want to get all your thoughts out, just in case?
Well, I just want people to feel good about themselves.
Okay, that's fair. That's nice. This episode is about fashion. Lord knows why. We're going to start the actual podcast recording somewhere around 2:00, and this is like the warm up to that. This is the preamble where me and Ben just talk for a little bit about whatever we got, whatever there is, whatever. This is all good. It doesn't matter. It's fine.
There's drilling.
I know, and we could still hear it.
Oh, really?
Did you think you turned yourself down?
I thought I had.
What kind of drill is it?
Does this work?
Yeah, I can't hear you when you do that, if that's what you're asking.
Awesome. Cool. What do you mean, what sort of drilling is it?
What sort of drill?
Electric one.
Electric, not gas-powered. Not steam or coal.
I don't think so. Although, I mean, electric could be done by coal, right? That's how they make the electric. How do they make electric?
Man, that's a different live stream. That's not for today. Today's about clothes. How do they make electric? ... The Ben Pierson story. But if coal, how does electricity ... Question mark. Close brackets. Smiley face. It's still. No, I think it's a different system. I think like coal power. I think coal and oil and gas and stuff are like pneumatic power, so not electricity. Or is it? No. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. But I'm a white guy, so I have the power to just keep talking, even though I'm not sure. It's pretty good. Gets me jobs. Gets me paid slightly more.
I would imagine that the electricity is stored up on the coils after being subjected to motion to build up kinetic energy.
The coils.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you
Get
mean
a bit
by
of
that.
copper wire, wrap it around something,
Yeah.
and then you've got a battery that can store all of the kinetic energy that you've been doing from, I don't know, driving a piston with steam that you got by heating water from the coal.
I'm not driving or being pissed on, so do I have any kinetic energy?
For a moment, I thought that I had muted myself, and I was like, oh no, I sounded kind of smart.
Yeah. But no.
No one will hear. Or I could have saved myself because everything that I just said was utter bollocks. I'm not sure.
We'll never know.
I'm certain the internet will let me know if I'm wrong.
No, why would they? Why would they need to assert anything over you? What would be the point? To keep it vaguely topical, I asked the chat what their most fashionable item of clothing was. Spicy Chai Bunny. Probably my 70s style fringe jacket. It's legit. Probably had someone die in it, but I love it so much. Kept me warm through the winter. I mean, yeah, like you're gonna be kept warm by the soul that's trapped in that jacket. Because everyone knows.
Soul.
Well, yeah, everyone knows that when you die, you get absorbed into the nearest item of clothing. That's just a common fact. Also, my lace-trimmed brown leg warmers that make me feel like a fairy. That's good. And new skates. Yeah, I didn't.
Sorry.
I didn't have a bit for that.
For a minute, I forgot that you were reading out things other people had said.
Yes.
Just while I was organising myself, I look up and expected you to be wearing, what was it again?
Lace-trimmed brown leg warmers that make me feel like a fairy.
So annoyed that you don't have lace-trimmed brown leg warmers.
You don't know what I'm wearing. It's a whole mess down there.
You are looking a little fashionable with your pineapples.
Thank you. We'll get to that. We'll get to that bit.
Oh.
Don't ruin the show. Would you believe, people, we have a schedule and a script and everything.
I wouldn't go as far as saying we had a script.
Mine. Yeah, no, that's too vague to be a script. Like, literally, point 2 is tell the story of this thing. Okay, let's hope I remember. Amazing. Yeah, no, I'm not wearing lacy anything. I'm just wearing patterned harem trousers because they're so cozy. They're literally my favourite thing. And I've seen people wear them before, and I'm just like, I cannot get away with that. It feels like cultural appropriation as well, a little bit. Then I saw Jacob Collier wearing them, and I was like, oh, well, that's fine then.
Who's Jacob Collier?
And Ben's also going to ask what harem trousers are in a second.
I know what they are. They're fucking comfy as balls.
Yeah.
It's like wandering about with nothing on your lower half.
Yeah, it really is.
It's like you're Donald Ducking it.
It's
But
also
you can go to the shops because people ain't going to see your junk.
I also like the elastic rides up really fast. So like seriously, my trousers are here right now. Like they just go all the way up for no reason. I know. Jacob Collier, they're really comfy, but like the waist just goes all the way up for no reason. Probably physics. Jacob Collier is a British musician who got famous on YouTube because the stuff that he does is quite intricate, but he's sort of made intricate, complex music kind of accessible because of how he talks about it, and it just sounds better than, you know, if you tell someone, listen to this, it's really complicated, you'll go, I just don't want to listen to Dream Theater, Greg. So it's like the accessible pop soul jazz version of that. I explained that really well. Jacob Collier himself is like a really nice, approachable man, and the tweens love him because he's adorable, and he sings and stuff. The tweens.
With
Where
their
did you
TikToks and their MySpace
and their daddy's debit card?
Their smooth skin, their unbroken spirit.
No, seriously, dude. Like the young people I know, before I work with them, they're way more broken than we are. Like sincerely, like. Although some of them think that like 9/11 is a thing that didn't happen, kind of like Lord of the Rings. So like every now and again, there's like at work, there's a moment where like, hey, where's little Jimmy crying? Oh, he realized 9/11 was real. Like, oh fuck. Like we got to see it in real time, but we didn't have to grow up thinking it was just like Lord of the Rings, just like the cultural event of the season or whatever, like World of Tomorrow, Lord of the Rings, and 9/11. No, 9/11 actually happened. Also, we have hobbits now.
But there's also, I mean, Pete, that's gonna happen. Give it.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe another. Have there already been 9/11 movies out?
No, unfortunately, no one's decided to touch that. Can't think
but
why.
I thought that there was. There was. Let me do a quick Google while I'm saying this. I thought there was a movie about the firefighters.
Oh, possibly. What like a factual movie?
No, like a drama movie. I know that there is a film, and it can't be a spoiler alert. Well, it can't be a spoiler because I can't remember what film it is. But at the end of the film, after all of this story has happened, it's got a camera shot of the main character, and it zooms out, and it goes through glass of a building, and it zooms out and out and out, and it's in the World Trade Center, and a plane is just about to hit it. And that's how the movie ends.
Oh my god!
Which really sort of...
Isn't that a sketch that we wrote? I feel like that's something we came up with on the podcast. Spicy Chai Bunny says Flight 93 ?
9/11 was in 2017. There was a movie called 9/11.
Are you shitting me? That's mad.
It was a drama action, an hour and a half, and it had Charlie Sheen. Is that about 9/11? It says on the morning of 9/11. It's called 9/11. It has not good reviews.
What, shocking?
Got 11% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
4.2 out of 10 on IMDb. Whoopi Goldberg's in it.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, here you go. And there's World Trade Center, United 93. Wow. Reign Over Me, 11 minutes, 9 seconds strong, 25th hour, The Report. There's a lot. So there will be people who will just see these movies.
Yeah, sure.
Like Titanic.
Yeah. Yeah.
People finding out that Titanic is an actual thing and not an actual movie.
Yeah.
It's not just a movie, is commonplace.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a generational thing or like people being stupid, because like Titanic didn't happen in our lifetime.
No, 19 something.
Maybe that's a false parallel. I don't know. Rotten Tomatoes reminded me. Have you seen the Paddington news? I don't know if you're up to date with Paddington news. I definitely am.
I'm not up to date with Paddington news.
So the first thing to know is that Paddington Bear on Twitter is the most gorgeous, life-affirming thing there is. I know you don't do Twitter, but the Paddington Bear official Twitter account is a real good reason to sign up to Twitter, because it's just adorable and pleasant and nice. The highest rated movie on Rotten Tomatoes was Citizen Kane. It had like literally 100%.
Yes.
Super high ratings until in late April they added a review that was like a contemporary review in the time of Citizen Kane that wasn't particularly pleasant towards it. So literally, like, they got a review from the same year that Citizen Kane was released, added that to Rotten Tomatoes, and that like made it kind of took down the percentage a little bit. So that goes down the list by 1. Paddington 2 goes up the list to replace it. Paddington 2 is now, according to Rotten Tomatoes, the best film. And the Paddington Bear official Twitter response to this is, I do hope Mr. Kane won't be too upset when he hears I've overtaken him with Rotten Tomatoes.
I love this.
It's the best. It's sincerely the best thing ever.
Oh, yeah, I like it. Now, no one go onto Rotten Tomatoes and fuck this up for Paddington, okay?
Yeah, no one go mess with Paddington.
Don't just be a dick. Let things be pure.
The mad thing for me is that actually I prefer the Paddington 1 movie. I think that's much better. Like, Paddington 2 is fine, but I think just like the first Paddington movie, I mean, it has like a special place in my brain because I don't think me and Laura knew that the Paddington movie was a thing until I think we were on holiday in Edinburgh and we oh no, I'm combining two things. I'm combining Taskmaster and Paddington again. We didn't know Taskmaster was a thing until that was it. We didn't know Taskmaster was a thing until we were on holiday in Edinburgh. We had a booking at our favourite Mexican restaurant and we were late to it because Taskmaster was on and we'd never seen it before because we're really good at holidays. And then that evening we came back and we watched Paddington. Yeah, sorry, I combined two memories. Yeah, carry on. That's my Paddington story. You do have
interesting experiences of holidays.
Thank you. Yeah, I really do.
I've not seen Paddington.
Have you not?
Not seen the first one, not all the way through.
Oh, man. It's really good.
I didn't want to. I had an idea that I didn't want to say out loud in case, hey, we can't do it. But I've just sent you a message with a potential idea to do stuff with Paddington. If you don't understand it, I'll explain it to you.
I think it's a very straightforward message, and yeah, I think we need to make that happen. But yeah, so I'm down for that. Watch this space.
Paddington.
For the result of a conversation that could have happened off air, but I'm pretty sure Ben will forget about it. So sending that message,
because then I can look back and go, oh look, there was the thing.
Yeah, totally.
I genuinely forget what's happening halfway through a sentence.
Oh man, isn't it bad? Is that is that a lockdown thing or is that just how you are? Because I think I've gotten stupider through lockdown.
I definitely think that lockdown has impacted my, brain power.
Yeah, we're watching it. We're seeing it happen right now.
I think just because
lockdown makes brain go bad. I can't talk. I took 3 run-ups to the word brain and still didn't get it.
Like, there's so much of the time was spent just existing. You had to stay in, don't go out, don't do anything.
Yeah.
Yes, you learned how to make sourdough. yeah, you got really fit and very attractive, and then it kept going, so now you're fat again. These things happen. I just, like in maybe like 80s B movies, I've got an image of people sat in front of their TV going, ah, and being dead, and the TV will rot your brain.
Must have been that bean he had earlier.
Excuse me.
Always a good joke.
Like, it felt like that.
Do you want me to talk for a minute?
I'll finish my thought in a moment. It felt like I was just sort of sitting there with stuff on TV. Stuff was just... This is taking the piss now. Come on.
I think they're watching and they're trying to screw with you.
Yeah, I just felt like I was existing, looking at stuff, but not really seeing it. There was no engagement. It was just stuff happening, nothing challenging or stimulating or...
Good.
There's no way to... You couldn't just go running in your brain. There wasn't enough stuff to do.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I know what you mean.
So yeah, brain not worked so good no mo. Please help, send.
I'm at a point where I've sort of gotten used to because I'm quite happy with my own company and I'm quite self-motivated, so I don't mind like sitting in a room by myself and just cracking on with whatever I got to do. And like my brain is one of those ones where like I don't need much external input to be able to or want to make stuff. I can just go for hours. You don't even have to put a penny in me. I'm real annoying. So I sort of got used to that aspect of lockdown. What I'm struggling with now that like schools are open and I'm back at work and all that stuff, I just don't have any energy. I'm just so used to kind of doing nothing a lot of the time. I think because my job is quite physical, like most days I will have to move 30 keyboards and maybe 60 drums. That's like an average day for me. Like it's a lot of, not like heavy lifting, just lots and lots of repetitive stuff, and then maybe a bit of fixing as well. And then some actual teaching sometimes as well. So like it's a super physical job, and like I'm just so knackered all the time, like doing even like maybe quarter to half of what my normal workload is even now. Like I'm still like real struggling. So like I get home at the end of the day and normally I'd be like, right, gotta film 4 YouTube videos, do a live stream, write a sketch and do this client work. And now I'm just like, I'm gonna watch Line of Duty and eat fucking custard creams by the packetful, and I'm gonna just curl up on the sofa and I'm not even facing the TV. I'm just groaning like Tina Belcher facing away from the screen, just on the sofa going. Spicy Chai Bunny dissociates in public now more. Yeah, no, I totally get it. And I feel myself getting stupider as well. Like, I a couple days ago, a kid was trying to communicate with me at work, and like I couldn't hear them, because they had a mask on. So I took my mask off because I thought it would help me hear them more. Which is just to recap, not how the sense of hearing works. It's got nothing to do with it. But I was like, I acknowledge, the problem is mask. Me take mask off, hear better. Didn't work.
I can't take the piss out of you because I've done the same
Yeah,
thing.
right? In it's stupid.
I've taken it off of my ear.
Maybe that's it, because it wraps around the ear as well.
Yeah, you just like, I'll take this small bit of elastic from behind my ear to the front of my ear, where it is equally not in the way.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's along the same lines of things prepared for. Maybe it's like when people turn the music down in the car when they get close to where they're going.
Is that a thing?
Do you know? This was whenever you
We didn't really have
new,
music in the car. That could be part of it.
Yeah,
Weird
you were looking
family.
for the address. You'd have the radio on. Then as soon as you started looking,
Oh,
you'd have a
right.
bit, and then you turn. Then your mum or your dad would turn the music down and be like, "Right, we need to think. Shh,
Okay.
quiet. We're looking."
I mean, that could be because, like, if it's somewhere you've been before or somewhere you're trying to find for the first time, like maybe you're trying to access part of your brain that is easily distracted by music. So I sort of get that. If I'm reading something, I can't have music playing, even if it's instrumental. Like
Same.
I can't because like the listening part of the intaking information part of my brain, I can't switch off if there's music. Maybe that's why I'm a music boy.
I mean, I can listen to music whilst reading, but I won't pay any attention to it, and that will annoy me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if I want to listen to music, I should listen to the. I'll turn that off because I'm not listening to it.
Yeah.
It can be on, and I will still read, but
I have two things that are in no way related. I would like to. One is a question, and one is just a statement. The statement first. I've been listening to the Auntie Donna podcast because there's lots of it, and fuck me, it's affecting me.
this is Auntie Donna, the Australian comedians.
The Australian comedy trio, who you may have seen on Netflix, and you may have seen on YouTube. They also have a podcast. There's lots of the podcast, and it's the three of them improvising like any given situation, and they do it. It's literally their weekly improv training practice, essentially, and they just do it I think they do it as a live stream to like their patrons, and then they do it as a podcast after the fact. And just it's so completely nuts, and it's so hard to tell when they're joking as well. But the thing is, it's always, and I'm really worried that like once we actually hit the record on this episode today, like it's going to be a new show because Liam's been influenced by something else.
Liam's been expanding his mind again.
Yep. So just wanted to throw that out there. The other thing is, I recently become aware through TikTok of a word that's being thrown around, and I'm happy to report that I had a crusty childhood. Crusty childhood.
Is that the word that's being thrown around?
Crusty childhood. Or is it crunchy? Might be crunchy. Hang on, I gotta check this before I. Crusty childhood. I'm not going to explain it. I'm just going to sit on that for a bit and see what Ben does with that.
Well, like each one means something a little different.
Crunchy. It's a crunchy childhood.
That's very different than a crusty childhood. A crusty childhood, I had images of you growing up in a caravan in a field with no shoes and flowers in your hair. You know, sort of like the when like hippie communes were seen as sort of bad, but if you were to paint an idyllic version,
but they like there's the idealized version, but they end up being a bit more crusty than idyllic and flowery. No, sorry, it's crunchy childhood. A crunchy childhood is I think it comes from crunchy granola, which of course I don't know what granola is. I know what muesli is because I'm not an animal.
Granola is like the good bits of crunchy nut that you put in yogurt.
No, what I'm saying is it's granola because we're British. Sorry.
But
what I'm saying is it's muesli.
What do you mean it's granola because we're British? What do you mean?
Sorry, I got the word wrong. Granola, I think, is the Americanized version. We call it muesli in this country because we're dignified and we have different words. And you can't say that we're wrong because we made your language, America.
Yeah.
Muesli. I will concede that we
Yeah.
drive on the wrong side of the road because we didn't invent the car.
But
we did invent the words. So, sorry, I got my words asked backwards. Muesli is what we call it in this country. But yeah, apparently Americans had crunchy childhoods, which comes from granola. So a crunchy childhood is like kids who were brought up with, like, I guess their parents telling them or giving them Enid Blyton novels. And like, so the kids would go out and like play with sticks and build things and paint things and just sort of be a nuisance in the small forests of the UK. I'm going to see if I can find a few more examples of crunchy childhood. So it's kind of like it's not quite a hippie childhood, but it's like a little bit related to that. So it's maybe like your parents who what were like aspirational to be hippies, but they didn't quite have the the courage to go out and not wear shoes.
I have an image of, I won't say any people's names, but a friend's parents when I was younger. I think they were accountants or something, like quite successful monetarily in a more business and academical sort of thing. This is getting real boring now.
Must have been that bean he had earlier.
but they had so they had like a fancy car. I think they had a big nice house, but it was like a scrubbed wooden kitchen table, and they would bake their own bread, and had an elephant shorn into the bush in the garden.
Right, yeah.
And very like, oh no, we don't need to buy artwork. We will make our artwork, and we will all go for woods.
Yeah.
All go for walks in the woods, and the sort of idyllic childhood memory things.
That feels quite crunchy. I think a lot of it is disapproving of like popular snacks. So like we didn't have chocolate bars or like crisps or stuff like that. Yeah, kind of posh hippies. Like they wanted to be hippies, but they didn't quite have the gusto to not wear shoes. We used to visit a lot of castles. We used to do a lot of National Trust walks. Sylvanian families are crunchy as fuck. What else we got? I'm just going through some blogs now.
It sounds like I also had a crunchy childhood.
Did you? Good stuff.
Yeah, I did. I've learned a thing that I had. What? But why crunchy? Because muesli.
Crunchy comes from granola, or muesli, as we call it, because we're not animals.
But why? Why?
Because that's
why?
the cereal that you'd have if you had a crunchy childhood.
I had Cocoa Pops.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very crunchy. Did you have soy milk? Or rice milk? No, you just had a bean earlier. That doesn't sound like one shelf, Ben. That sounds like more than one shelf, you know?
It does sound like more than one shelf. I might send a message.
You liar. You shelf liar.
No, I had Cocoa Pops with boring milk.
It sounds like you
just
may
from a cow.
It sounds like you may have had a crispy childhood, not a crunchy childhood, and apparently that's the scale. That's the gradient.
That might be it.
Crunchy mums is apparently like a thing that's trending now, and that frankly makes me upset. And a lot of people are saying that like they didn't have they didn't have crunchy childhoods because they were too poor. Like, yeah, I totally see that. Fraggle Rock, that's crunchy as fuck. I'm just gonna go through these things while Ben is indisposed.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to deal with this before we get into the podcast proper.
Yes, I think that's fair. Eco-friendly products for cleaning. That's something that my parents still do. So, like, as a kid, none of my clothes smelled clean because all of the cleaning products were eco-friendly. And unfortunately, that means they kind of don't work. Vegetarianism, yeah. So I was raised vegetarian, and then Daddy gave me bacon, and everything was fine. True story. Because we were at the breakfast table, and we were having our muesli and whatever. And I noticed Dad wasn't eating muesli. Dad had this red.
And Dad had granola.
Dad had red flat stuff that smelled amazing. And I was like, what's Dad got? I was like, Dad's got bacon. I'm like, oh, can I have some? I was like, well, you can, but it's made of animal. I don't give a shit, Mum. Go fuck yourself. Give me that fucking meat. And then I ate it, and it was great. And I remember I told a teacher that day, because I was like 8, 9. I told a teacher, Liam, you're very excitable. I was like, yes, I had meat today. And the teacher was like, don't know what to do with that. Great. Daddy giving me bacon, that's going on a t-shirt. Yeah, 100%. What are some of these other...
Oh, I don't want that on a t-shirt, but it needs to happen.
Yeah, it shouldn't happen, but it's gonna. Plastic free, yes, very much. Alternative health, holistic medicine, yeah. So,
did you used to go to the bottle bank?
Oh yeah, hell yeah! What a great day out that was.
Just let's take the kids to smash glass.
Yeah. Homeschooling, yeah. Well, this is just an insight into my childhood now until Ben sorts the shelf situation. Or sorry, that sounds like it's your problem. Until the shelf situation is fixed. Homeschooling, yeah, I hated school because kids are arseholes, so they tried to homeschool me for like a year and a half. It was fine. I turned out okay. Holistic medicine and alternative health, yeah. So again, I was sick a lot as a kid, or at least we thought I was. I might have just been a dickhead.
You might have just been vegetarian.
Yeah, could have just been that. Could have just been that, like...
Wasn't a good time. Back then, it wasn't like it is now.
Yeah, exactly.
You wanted to not eat animals, you were thin and not very healthy.
Yeah, exactly. So when I was sick, my parents sort of I think it was basically because I had a lot of colds and stuff as a kid, so they were like, right, we're going to do 3 operations on your kid's face. We're going to take something out of his throat. We're going to take something out of his nose and put something in his ear. I think that was it.
Oh, I'm both pleased and disappointed that you said ear.
And the things we took out of his face we're going to put right in his bum.
I'll take the things out of his face and shove them right up his ass.
Oh no, we accidentally took something out of his bum and put it in his nose. No. So
he got shit for brains. Whoa!
Thanks. My feelings.
You're welcome.
Ow. There must have been that bean he had earlier. I'm just going to keep doing it. So my parents, like, when I had the operation.
I just FYI, I've been assured that this is the last shelf.
Okay.
I hope you've enjoyed the DIY at Ben's.
Sorry.
Ben's abode.
Did you say Ben's abode or Bean must have had his bean?
Oh, like farting.
Like farting. There it is again. Must have been the bean. So when like this 3-way operation didn't actually fix anything, and I was still getting sick a lot. That my parents were like, right, that's it, homeopathy. So like I had several years of trying to be. We didn't start with homeopathy. We started with herbalism, which feels slightly more like medicine than homeopathy, but only slightly. And yeah, it was actually only within like the last 12 years, I think, that I stopped seeing my homeopath, because I was like, yeah, no, this is actually not helping. Like, and I've sort of been conscious of that for like 5 or 6 years, until I was eventually like, yeah, no, okay, this is actually not helping and making me poor. So like, I am actually out now. It's a little insight into my life and how I was trying to fix things that were not wrong with me, basically. What else is on this? Thank you for your sympathy noise. What else is on here? They, in fairness to my parents, they were not anti-vaxxers, which I'm pretty thrilled about. Lots of natural products.
The drilling has ceased.
Oh, nice one.
Just in case you're going, quick, I need to find out what reasons.
No, I'm not vamping. It's all good.
Childhood.
This is stuff that sincerely interests me. I'm not just vamping at this point. TV free. We weren't like properly TV free, but like it was definitely limited television. And my parents were always like, "Why are you watching American TV?" It's like, mate, because all that's on is Simpsons. It's the 90s. Come on. Buy small business, buy local. Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair enough. Organic and gardening at home. Yeah, definitely. Poison-free homes. Now, we loved poison. That's how 3 of my siblings died. Big poison family, the Taylors.
That explains Toby.
No circumcision. Yep. I mean, this must be an American website, I'm assuming. We tend not to cut bits off of penises in the UK.
I mean,
unless we have to.
Mine's not crunchy.
Your penis isn't?
No.
Thank God. I got a crunchy bit. They didn't cut it off. I'm very sorry. Yeah, those are all some crunchy things. And a lot of stuff that they put here on this, there's like an addendum to this website, which is like the modern equivalent of crunchy parenting. I wouldn't call it crunchy parenting. I would call it insufferable, yummy, mummy, live life, love parenting, which is a different genre of awful person. But hey, that's just me. There's also a picture here of what is supposed to be like breastfeeding, but it's not. It's a baby with her head on what is obviously a not quite bald man's head, because there's bits of hair on that, like all over that tit otherwise, and that's just not.
I mean, don't judge.
No, but I mean like in a wispy bald man kind of way, not in a sometimes boobs have hair on them kind of way. I mean, there's hair everywhere, but no, that's a bald man's head. And I'm not sharing that because I don't want to get unnippled on Twitch. That's not how I want to go out.
Unnippled?
Yeah, you can't have nipples on Twitch. It's this whole thing.
But it's a bald man's head.
Yes, but the caption says that it's a boob. So,
well,
there.
It is important to read the words as well as the pictures, but
that is a statement. Excuse me, that Ben just made. Sorry, that literally fell out of me. Must have been that bean I had earlier.
Was that beans?
Curse your bean. Ben, you haven't spoken for a while because of the drilling. You got anything you want to put out there?
I was just listening to you describe what felt like my childhood.
Yeah, I can go on forever. I truly can.
I was like, there's some aspects that, we watched TV. We didn't have Sky and all the cable channels and satellite and stuff. We had BBC One, BBC Two, ITV, Channel 4, and sometimes a fuzzy Channel 5.
Oh boy, fuzzy Channel 5.
Which we weren't too fussed about because it never had anything good on.
I noticed that Streamlabs has just told Spicy Chai Bonnie not to swear, and I think it means the word boob. And the message is, swearing is for regulars and subscribers. Be here more often or give us money, then you can swear. I think you're a regular. I think that's unfair. How is it measuring regularity?
It's deleted all of the messages previously.
Has it deleted them? No,
Yeah.
you are not in the wrong here. Oh, and it's timed you out for 1 second. Is boobs
I can
fine?
say boobs.
Oh, can you?
I've said boobs.
Yeah, look at that. Is it bald? Is the swear word bald?
Is the swear word bald?
I can swear as
On
well.
that question, on that, whatever fuck question that is, shall we do the thing?
Oh yeah, the thing we're here to do. Sure, we can do that.
Sweet.
Let me just turn my recorder on.
Oh yeah, that would help.
Yeah, you kind of need to like archive the audio in some way, ideally.
Just put it where it always goes.
Yeah, are you sure? Hang on, if I go up here. Oop. Whip.
Sure. Whatever.
1 2 1 2 1 2. Wilson's Willie was wet when we wanked
Whittled.
him. What?
Oh.
Hmm?
I went for a much more wholesome whittled.
No,
Like
we're not a
having a
whittling
little
family.
Little wee wee.
Lil Wee Wee. worst
Lil
rapper
Wee Wee.
ever. Worst rapper. Lil Wee Wee.
Little wee wee.
Are you good to...
Welcome!
I haven't hit record.
Why have you not hit record? I'm recording. I'm recording this welcome as we speak. I hope you've hit record because you're recording the welcome to the Conversation Hat podcast. Conversation Hat? What's a conversation hat? Don't hit record yet. I'm not ready.
Do you want me to hit record?
Sure.
I've already hit record.
Good.
Thank
Hi,
you.
welcome to the thing.
Yes,
We're here.
we are.
So are you. Good.
And that is at least true for now. Future,
Then.
can't say what happens in the future because I'm not allowed.
Nah, it gets in trouble.
I do. With the men. Welcome to this Conversation Hat podcast, live stream podcast recording. Once a month, audio visual event of the month, I guess. This month, fashion. We chose fashion as a topic. If researching this week on the subject of fashion has made me think anything, it's why did we choose fashion? Don't know.
We just sort of did.
I think we were getting towards the end of a meeting and I was like, oh yeah, we need to come up with one more. And then me, you and Laura just looked at each other and we were like, fashion in unison.
Hey,
That's how I remember
think
it.
that when we decided that we would go with fashion, that, you know, there's a lot to explore. The concept, the history, all of these interesting things, the statements that are made, all of that stuff.
Yeah, sure.
And I thought that would probably be really cool for us to look through and, you know, put our little put our thoughts into it.
Sure.
I'd be amazed if anything close to what I've just described has actually happened. But, hey, we're here. We're going to talk about fashion. You want to talk about fashion with us? You should have been on the live stream. If you are on the live stream,
Hello.
talk about fashion with us. That's why you're here. Participate.
So I've noticed that I
Work harder.
I'd programmed Streamlabs to plant the logo emoji into chat every half hour or so, but it has failed to do that, which is great to know. It just straight up hasn't worked. But we do have a Discord.
We do.
Which you can go to. Jolly good stuff, everybody. So how do you want to do this, Ben? Because I've got three sort of stories / points of interest. We also we have the good news and the plugs that we'll get to at the end, and we were also instructed to bring our most fashionable item of clothing. Do you want to do that bit first?
Sure. To be honest, my my main thing, it was a lot hard. I had such.
So you want to start with excuses?
Yeah, because it's all I've got.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, I thought there was some really cool stuff to talk about, but when things like fashion is kind of subjective, or things are there's things that are meant to make people think. Lots of people think different to each other. And
I've
it's
never
really
experienced that. Never, literally never come across that.
It's difficult to find consensus on something like fashion on the internet.
Okay, yeah, sure.
So, I got some stuff that we could have a chat about. But yeah, let's do our items. What item have you got?
I have brought the shirt that I am wearing. There's a bit of a story with the shirt. It's a short-sleeved black shirt with large white pineapples on it. I don't normally do short sleeves because, as you can tell, I don't quite have the muscles to pull off that amount of arm. Mostly it's flab and wing, which is also the name of my rotisserie chicken stall. Flab and wing. Yeah, no, I like this shirt a lot. It's the only item of clothing I have that or it was the first item of clothing that people, colleagues, strangers, shop assistants would be like, "Ooh, that's a statement," and I'm like, "Thanks." I think it's quite, for a black and white shirt. It's quite vibrant, and that's why I like it. We got this shirt
striking.
Thank you. It is striking, especially if I punch you with it. I don't know. We got this shirt a few years ago. We went to a secret cinema event back when you could see people outside in person. Yeah, exactly. When there was stuff to do. Secret cinema is this really fun cash grab where basically they rent out either a huge warehouse or a lot of field, and they put on a film, and while the film is happening, they have people acting out scenes from the film in real life as well. Or they'll have in the run up to the film loads of activities and loads of stuff happening with actors playing parts from the film.
Okay.
So if you go to see Secret Cinema, Star Wars or whatever, you'll just have a heckload of Ewoks running around doing whatever, getting in the way,
people
and
playing
being
the
mischief.
Cantina band music.
Exactly, loads of stuff like that, and it's supposed to be quite interactive as well, which I hate. I love the concept, but I hate being around that sort of thing. I just want to watch other people have fun. That's what really does it for me. So we went to see is it Baz Luhrmann, Romeo and Juliet?
With DiCaprio. Senor DiCaprio. I don't know why I said Senor DiCaprio. That's not a thing.
Monsieur DiCaprio. So when you sign up, when you pay to go to the thing, they will assign you usually a character or a role or a tribe that you're supposed to dress as. So we got the Capulets, I think, who are the Hispanic, black, red kind of garb. So we all had to buy black and red stuff, and this was the closest thing to that I would be seen wearing. And it's like a Hawaiian style shirt, so it sort of fits with that whole vibe.
Which, yeah, it does feel very very much in that style.
Yeah. Yes, certainly.
Imagine you pulling out your sword and biting your thumb at people.
Exactly. So we went to that in London, and it got cancelled. And it was rescheduled, but we literally got there. We got off we were on the tube, and the really funny thing about secret cinema, I've only been to one, but Laura's been to a whole bunch. She likes them much more than I do. The really fascinating thing is they don't tell you where you're going. They don't tell you where it is. They just tell you what tube station to get off at, and then they're like, you'll see it.
Wow.
And usually what that means is there's several hundred people dressed the same as you going in one direction, and you just got to trust that they know. So it was really funny that we were on the tube, and like we just because we'd come from Cambridge, obviously, so we got at King's Cross and then got on the tube. So like what was really obvious was that all these other people from London were getting on the tube, and the tube just gradually started to be replaced by people wearing Hawaiian shirts. It was like a fucking Guy Fieri restaurant or something. It was amazing. And so we just sort of look around and realise, where'd all the normies go? What the fuck is this?
Just imagine a poor businessman or a tourist, first time in London.
Yeah, exactly.
First time in the country, they've gone to London. The first time they're on the tube, they were quite apprehensive, not quite sure what was going on, and then Magnum PI.
They just get on the tube like, what is this, Flavour Country? And the thing that's really cool about that is that there's like a implicit sort of it's like an implied familiarity, like a tribehood. So like people who didn't know each other were like quite happy like starting a conversation or whatever. And then we're getting close to the stop, and the woman next to me just like stands up and goes, sorry everyone, it's been cancelled. And we trusted her because she was dressed like us. Fucking stupid. Yeah, we trusted her because she was dressed in like the Capulet colours.
Like us.
We're like, if you were a Montague, I'd have fucking slain you by now. Talking to me on a tube to Flavortown. So yeah, and then we all of us, like, we all get on the Twitter and we all go through the thing. The thing about secret cinema is when it runs and when it's fine, it's real good. But when something goes slightly wrong, they're kind of shit at handling it and kind of shit at communicating what's actually happening. So the result was like probably 1,000 people in fucking Guy Fieri costumes were like at whatever tube station it was, and then eventually someone like comes up with a loudspeaker and is like, yeah, no, we have actually cancelled today. That there will be another day in your inboxes within the hour, because the field had just flooded, like that simple, just flooded, and they couldn't do electricity.
Yeah,
because all of the logical reasons, and it's the sort of thing that like actually they can't help that. It's just that they could have communicated it a little better, but whatever. So that's the story of this shirt.
Wow.
Thank you.
I'm a fan of both shirt and story.
I think you would absolutely love secret cinema, and I think you'd be a really good actor at secret cinema as well, because you don't have like I'm sure you do have shame, but like you're really good at repressing it.
I can put it
Just
away.
Put a pin in that. We'll get to that
For a
later.
while.
We'll get to that in 4 years' time when I can't sleep.
Let's get weird. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get weird. Let's get
Don't
up in
have to worry
people's
about it.
personal space.
Don't have to worry about it now. I've got all of the nights that I won't sleep to worry about the things that I've done.
Exactly.
Oh no, that's good shirt. Good
Thank you.
story.
Thank you.
I
Thank
now
you.
hope that I'm wearing today. Just fashion.
You are wearing some fashion.
I'm wearing some fashion.
Thank you for following, Bradley
James in the chat. Fashion. Why are my skinny jeans and spiked belt not cool anymore? A late 20-something's tale of existential dread. I hear you. Yeah.
I have a lot of empty belts because I would buy studded belts, take the studs off, put them on jackets and stuff, and now I just have like flaccid belts with holes in. That's my kind of That's my early 30s
it's a
existential dread.
statement.
It is a statement. The statement is, anyone want a belt?
Anyone want a belt?
Anyone want a belt?
The charity shops have been closed for a while. I can't give them the belts.
Exactly. Go on, what's your fashionable item?
So yeah, so I'm wearing black as who was it? Was it Coco Chanel who said that you could never go wrong with a little black dress? Black
Sure.
is slimming. Black is functional. I'm not saying that this isn't my item. It's not just a black t-shirt.
I thought you'd really fucking phoned it in there.
No. Oh yeah. Well, the most fashionable item. I'm wearing a black t-shirt.
Whatever
No,
I happen to be wearing.
the origins of my fashionable item
Oh, yeah.
are complex and
Oh, good.
hopefully interesting.
Oh, I was hoping they'd be boring and bean-filled.
You are aware of Noel Fielding and the Mighty Boosh?
Yes. You could say
For
that.
those who don't, Mighty Boosh was quite a surreal sitcom in the BBC Three era of comedy. Noel Fielding and Julian Barrett playing really like over exaggerated versions of themselves, it felt. Noel Fielding played a character called Vince Noir, obsessed with his hair and getting it as big and as tall and as perfect as possible, his reflection. He wore mirror ball suits that he'd sewn himself. Which I think that it came from Noel Fielding, because if you watch him on Bake Off, there are some fantastic shirts.
Oh, his shirt game is incredible.
The man goes on to do Big Fat Quiz of the Year in a poncho and glittery Chelsea boots.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's he's got a look.
He certainly has a look. 100%.
And that was really emphasised in his character in The Mighty Boosh. I made many friends, for it was a good show and good people like it. There's an episode where him and Howard get trapped on a desert island. I think because Noel Fielding's character Vince gives the captain a haircut whilst he's sleeping, so they throw them off of the cruise boat that they were on.
Yeah.
And they end up marooned on a desert island. Within a day, Howard is wearing rags. It's a terrible mess. Big beard and everything. Vince is looking fine, clean shaven, made himself some outfits from like banana leaves, and he made himself a hat. It was like a straw hat, and it had Noir, which was his character's name, on the front, and it had a Mighty Boosh pattern around the rim as well. Really cool hat. 10 years ago. No, more than 10 years ago. This was in 2007. However many years ago that is. I am in Cambridge, hanging out with some people, as I am wont to do.
Yeah, you do like people.
And I see something that sparks a memory in my brain.
Not joy.
And I will describe this in a moment. I walk over to the little gaggle of people with their bright hair, their skinny jeans and studded belts. They were cool then. They're still cool now. And someone was wearing the Vince Noir straw hat.
Oh no. And you stole it from them.
This was Hannah Jones. I'm still friends with her.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Little Hannah, I think she lives in Brighton now. Or possibly London, one of the two.
You got doxed, Hannah. Deal with it. We got your hat and then we doxed you. That's how we do.
And yeah, this hat was upon her head, and we got chatting, and we had a well, I mean, as I said, we're still friends, and I still have the Vince Noir hat.
So that, just to be clear, that hat is how we know each other then. Because I don't know about this hat. I know Hannah, but like you wouldn't have become part of that group of people, and then we wouldn't have known each other if it wasn't for that hat. So that hat is like a linchpin to the whole fucking podcast, basically.
This may well be the source of the conversation hat.
Oh shit! You got to burn that, man.
No,
you know that like
we've just established that this is the best item. This
Yeah,
is my best. This is the only good thing that I have.
you know that the actual conversation hat. Where's the logo? You know that the actual hat is going to actually completely murder you if it knows you have another hat.
Dude,
You can't go around having other
that
hats.
It was the conversation hat. We could have gone somewhere cool, and you're taking it into a negative hat murdery place.
Yeah, that's
This
basically
is our
the show.
friendship hat.
Negative
This is
hat
the
murdery
reason.
place.
This is the reason, Liam. This is the reason for everything.
Does it have any questions in it?
No, originally it did have. I don't think you can see some markings. Obviously not if you're not watching the live stream. But it had quotes and other pictures that were drawn on. But time and probably my sweaty head has erased the majority of them.
So how is it that you've come into possession of that hat? Did you just straight up steal it from a person you had just met?
I took it from Hannah, yeah.
Okay, we're friends now. I'm taking this. See ya.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah, fine. Okay. I mean, that
You're
was
cool.
how you
Your
make
hat's
friends
cool.
in the early
Hey, you're
2000s.
cool. I want your hat.
Yeah.
Can I have the hat? I'm having the hat, and I'm going to keep it with me for 13 years.
I'm going to reference it on a
14
podcast that
years.
you will not watch. Wow, man.
So yeah,
That's cool. I love
So
it.
this is fashionable on many levels.
And it's apropos, and it's
it is a unique hat.
it is.
It is based on a fashiony character that's based on a fashiony man who
Fashiony man.
I saw that there was, is it Grazia magazine? That's
Yes.
a fashion thing.
That is.
They
Well done.
had an article about Noel Fielding's bake-off jumpers.
Oh,
and
perfect.
bake-off outfits.
I love it.
This is all kinds of fashion, and it's the reason you have just pointed out that we are here today. That all of us are here today and gone tomorrow.
So basically, it's Noel Fielding's
Boom.
fault. Like all of this could have been avoided if it wasn't for the Mighty Boosh.
Yeah, I mean, don't say it like that.
Well, I mean, just wondering what could have been.
I hope that we bring something to the lives of the people who listen.
Time. We kill time.
Certainly noise.
Certainly noise. I mean, that's going. Certainly noise.
What do you want?
Yeah. You want content? Go fuck yourself. We got noise. Fill your ears with stuff. Wonderful. Those are some very fashionable items.
Thank you.
Shall we move
Yeah.
on to either your first point of interest or my first point of interest? What do you want to do?
Well, I would like, if we may, to step into my point of interest, which is...
Zip.
Stop it. Like,
Make me.
normally we come with, like, bits of information or things to talk about,
Yeah.
like actual examples of stuff. I thought that we could... Because there's stuff I want to talk about that I thought would be interesting to talk about, which links from this hat.
Ooh.
I went and spoke to people. This was in the day, I think, the ages of 12 to 17. I would go and hang out on Christ Peace in Cambridge. This is how Liam and I eventually met each other, through this hat or not. And in the summer, there would be 100 people, possibly more, sat on this lovely sunny green in Cambridge, all between the ages of 13 and 17. All alternative, so black clothes, bright coloured hair,
Bunch of goths. Bunch
Bunch
of
goths,
greasy goths.
punks, emos, and eventually scene kids. all just happened. They all just sort of came.
Converged.
And just
it was a
converged.
gothy convergence.
And I think that obviously at some point some people did it, and then some other people met them and joined. But I never felt that if I went there on my own, like you would go with friends, but you could go there on your own, and there would probably be someone there on a Saturday that you knew during the summer. But even if there wasn't, it felt safe and comforting because all of these people, like I had dyed hair, I had black clothes all the time. Where I grew up and where I lived at the time, not so much.
Yeah.
Lots of jogging bottoms and knockoff Burberry.
Yeah. 'Twas the style at the time.
Indeed. You say style. I didn't think it.
'Twas the only affordable clothing available at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, it you had a sense of community around this. You felt like you could just sort of wander in and didn't have to know everyone or anyone, but you could say hi, you could sit, you could chat with people. Because there was a little link.
Yeah.
Not just that you had pink hair and so did someone over there.
Essentially.
But chances are, the reason why you had pink hair, why you dyed your hair and stuff, is you had it was the personality. There were, something probably happens. Something you experience will be like, hey, I'm going to dye my hair pink.
What usually seemed to be the case was you'd see a bunch of goths, you'd sit down and be like, yo, you guys been bullied? Like, yeah, man, we've been bullied. Look at us. Cool. Got any drugs? That was it. That was essentially the whole vibe.
I mean, I was trying to put that into a much better articulated way.
Don't be poetic about it. It was, yo, you've been bullied. Sweet. Got any drugs?
Yeah, all right.
That was it.
We dyed our hair funny colours and dressed in black because people kicked the shit out of us and bullied us when we were little.
But they did that because our hair was weird anyway. I don't know what you want.
Because our hair was weird and we wore black.
Yeah.
Fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for the follow, Omar Behewashi. I just butchered your name and I'm sorry about that. But hi.
Yeah, I had a...
It is interesting, isn't it, how like the whole alternate fashion thing really bloody worked, because like for myself, like I was never goth, I was never emo, I was like essentially classic metalhead, I guess. So I would wear like AC/DC tees, like Judas Priest patches, whatever, leather jacket, torn up denim, the usual shtick. And I did that because like deliberately when I was at school, like everyone else, and like I at the time I was like, oh, why are chavs dickheads? And it didn't occur to me that it was like, oh, because it's a poverty thing. Like literally they that's all the clothing that is available, that is affordable. And like if my parents were slightly poorer, I would probably have to have worn the same thing. So like I feel a little bit guilty for the whole like hating chavs type vibe from the 90s and early 2000s, but like early 2000s. But like that's just it felt like a culture war. It felt like an us versus them situation, and also like but actually fashion wasn't part of it. It's just that kids are dickheads. It had nothing to do with all the knockoff Burberry. It's just that kids are dickheads. I was sort of asking for it a lot of the time by also being a dickhead. It's just that it was tribal, so it didn't feel like that at the time. So it's really interesting that like then deliberately going out of my way to then wear denim, leather, band patches, AC/DC shirt, whatever, like absolutely signposted myself to people who felt similarly, who were into like the other music and who just didn't really feel like they were part of contemporary popular society and all of that stuff. just made it really obvious that like you guys have common ground, even if that common ground is you've had your head kicked in a few too many times, basically. I just think it's really interesting how like at no point was that a like a conscious decision that I made. I think it was just always in the back of my head. I don't want to speak for you, but I imagine it's similar. Like there was just in the back of your head, oh yeah, I don't want to be that because those guys are dicks, so I'm going to wear this other stuff.
Yeah.
And then isn't it interesting how like it did actually really work as a signpost to then get you in with the other crowd. Clothes are weird.
Wouldn't kick your head in.
Less likely to, certainly. I think it's just fashion is a weird.
We'll go with less likely to. Not
At least immediately less likely to. Over time, once they know you as a person, absolutely. But immediately, no. Once they dislike you for who you are as a person, then they'll kick your head in. But that's fine because they're doing it because of who you are and what you believe, not because of your hair.
Not because of what you look like. So that's better.
It kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's really interesting how that was never a conscious decision, but like it really properly worked. And like that's essentially how we met. We're still friends. That's how me and Laura met. We're cordial. Broadly. It's fine. I'm trying to think like people that are currently in my life that aren't people I work with. The only person I think that isn't part of my life because of that is Cy, and I was friends with Cy because we were friends at school, and we lost touch through like secondary school and then sixth form, and then we became friends again. And by the time we were slightly more, we were like what, late teens when we reconnected, I think. And we stayed friends. I think we chatted a little bit, and then I think he must have. I'm gonna have to ask him what happened then, because I can't remember if then we then ran into each other by coincidence a few times once he was back from uni, maybe, or we just got chatting about music or something, and then we stayed in touch. I need to talk to him about what happened there, but I don't think that was explicitly to do with dark clothes, Judas Priest t-shirt, Alice in Chains t-shirt. Interesting. I don't think that's what happened. But I'm not sure.
It's interesting how you said that it's not like you don't remember it being a conscious decision, because nor do I. But a thing that I made a note about, non-uniform day at school.
Oh, I hated non-uniform day because I didn't have clothes back then.
T-shirt, jeans, every time, because it's not my uniform.
Yeah.
That's my clothes. What? And people would be like, oh, I'm wearing this. Isn't this great? Ben, why are you just wearing a t-shirt and jeans? Fuck else am I meant to wear?
Am I going to dress up as a dragon? What do you want?
I ain't got a fucking suit.
Yeah, what do you want?
We're going to be doing... What? And that, I think, that really sort of stuck... I mean, here we are.
Apparently.
Talking about it now.
Apparently it made a dent on you a little bit.
So I think that was like, why do people bother with clothes and shit? Just put them on so you're not naked.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
But then where I grew up, it was the fashion was either chav through choice or not.
Otherwise, yeah.
Or just... I think it was that or sport. It was I went to that kind of school.
Yeah.
So when I found that there were clothes that weren't just... I mean, I still wear jeans and a t-shirt. That's my go-to thing.
Yeah.
But when it was, oh, look, these are... Here's some jeans with holes in. Here's a jacket that you can put a load of badges on. Look at this, look at that. Look at all these interesting ways to accessorize. It was... I found it so much more fun with colourful hair and stuff like that. So, yeah, for me to go, I don't care about this. I'm just putting clothes on to be like, oh no, these things can be pretty. We can find a style. Everyone can find their own little bit of their own style.
Yeah.
Even if it looks exactly the same as someone else's to someone else. I think that'd be difficult to do though.
Yeah, sure.
Because each like dyeing your hair, some people might do it because their friends are doing it. Some people will be doing it for them.
Yes.
And that will be making very roundabout way. I was going through this is if you were dyeing your hair like that, you are making a statement either to yourself or for yourself or to others around you. And that can be whatever. That sort of statement is a very personal one that can be seen by those who know you and those who don't.
Yeah.
I really wanted to talk a lot about Billy Porter in this stream because I think he's glorious. And when he wore the dress to the award, he's worn a dress to a few awards ceremonies, but it was the black dress that sort of looked like a tuxedo.
Yes. Yeah.
Sort of looked tuxedo and then blooms out into this huge, like, sort of ball gown type thing. The reason why I'm not going to talk much about him was because I struggled. This is what I'm talking about instead of going, yay, Billy Porter all the time.
Okay.
He did it just sort of because he wanted to.
Right, yeah. So he wasn't deliberately trying to make any statement. He was just like, this is what I want.
I mean, I'm sure that there are statements, and with fashion, with many forms of art and stuff, it's subjective. You can have someone saying, yeah, well, just wanted to wear a fucking dress.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. 100%.
And that in and of itself is enough of a statement. I wanted to wear a dress, so I fucking did.
Yeah.
Is there any bigger meaning behind it? No. That's enough of a thing. Wanted to do it, did it.
From what I can tell, that's very much the... I think that's the vibe that Harry Styles wants to give off when he's wearing a dress. But I also think Harry Styles' publicist is a genius. And has just been like, yeah, wear a dress, don't mention it. Just literally don't reference the dress, just wear it, go. I'm sure. Yeah. It's big news, apparently. I think the fact that he's trying to present it as I'm just wearing a dress because I want to. I think that's important, and I think that's good and valid and stuff. But I've got to assume that there's someone behind Harry Styles going, yeah, you should wear a dress, and then not reference it. That'll be really good for you. I could be wrong. He could be doing the Billy Porter thing and just wearing whatever the hell he wants to. Yeah, I don't know. I like it. It's good.
To be fair, lad looks good in a dress.
Yeah, man. Lad looks good whatever he does.
I mean, he's Harry Styles. He looks good anyway.
I think he'll be fine. I
think he's gonna do all right.
He's gonna be fine.
He's gonna be just fine.
That's our hot take for the day. Harry Styles. Fine. He's set.
Doing all right.
He's on an upwards trajectory. Can't say that word.
Upwards trajectory.
I'm not even gonna try. Nope.
Trajectory.
Nope. I keep feeling myself go to try to say it, and it's going to end poorly. I don't
know if any of that made. I
totally.
hope that made sense. I don't know if it was coherent. Sorry, Laura, if you have to edit that.
I imagine she will be. My first story. This is a really short thing because again, I sort of struggled to come up with. I've got a couple things, but like I wanted to find like some weird clothing or something interesting, and the best I could do. I believe this was a Georgian fashion of eye miniatures. And eye miniatures, or Lover's Eyes, not the Mumford & Sons song. They were basically, you would have painted jewellery. So you'd wear it as a brooch or a bracelet or something. you would have painted very, very small versions of your partner or your child or anyone you were fond of just their eye. So like just this much of their eye. And you'd paint it like this big, like real small. And
Hold it to me so I can see.
So like this is what it was.
So it, like,
and it would end up real tiny. And you would have that as like a bracelet, and it was just
like
just the eye.
5p piece.
Yeah, exactly. Like 5p piece. Maybe I'm sure they varied in size. Some kind of coin size, and you just have that as like a necklace or a brooch or a bracelet or whatever. I just thought that was mad because you show me someone's eye and I won't know who the fuck that is. You know, Is that Ben? Is that Laura? Is that Gandhi? I don't know.
I mean, that's why Zorro was so successful. He covered his eyes.
Yeah.
And no one knew it was Antonio Banderas.
Exactly. I thought that was really interesting, but like there's no story there. That is just a thing that happened, and that was just the fashion in, I believe, Georgian. I read Georgian England, but I imagine Georgian Europe. I assume.
That is interesting.
It's pretty crazy.
Have you ever seen the Lucky Eyes?
No, I might have. I don't know.
It's a very small. It's just sort of like a blob of blue glass with a white bit and a dot in it, and they're worn on like bracelets and necklaces and things, and they're meant to bring luck. And I wonder if that's possibly something that stemmed from the same vein. Because the eyes were the windows to the soul.
Yes.
So perhaps by keeping the eyes of those you give a shit about nearby, you're keeping them safe.
It's the same vein as like having a lock of hair or whatever. It's just like having a piece of that person near you. I imagine. Crawfordism on Twitch says the Zorro of old was loads better than Antonio. I didn't know there was an original Zorro. Am I being dense? Okay, that's just me. You guys all know about that. That's fine. I will do my research. I will go away and learn about original Zorro. Although saying that out loud, I feel like I did know that, but I didn't commit it to memory.
I mean, I knew it was a thing. I don't think I've ever seen.
Did he have eyeballs? The original Zorro?
Yeah,
somewhere I imagine. But were they like visible? Or did he have like a necklace made up of the eyeballs of the loved ones of people he defeated?
That's how you find out who Zorro is. You look at everyone's bracelets.
And you've got to... What? So, hang on. So it's the bracelets that... So people who've had their bracelets stolen? Or do you have to like cross-reference all the eyes that he's wearing on a necklace and then pinpoint, the common factor is this person?
I realised that there would be a lot of information gathering.
It's just data.
To put into algorithms that don't really make sense.
GDPR nightmare. That's what it is. Crawfordism. Yes, he had eyes. Thank you. Now I know.
Maybe that's not how you find out how Zorro is. Just look at the credits.
Just look at the credits.
Look at the credits. It will tell you.
Credits. Zorro played by not Antonio Banderas. Brackets. Yes, he had eyes. Close brackets. IMDb was a fucking nightmare in the 70s, I swear to God. That's my first point. Do you have another point? I mean, I'm sure you do. I have another two. What do you got?
I mean, I have constructed a game for you.
So I also have a game.
Really, you did much better with this fashion stuff than I did.
Thank you. It's because I have more body to cover in clothes. Therefore, I know more about clothes. I don't know. So
I looked at some controversial, like fashion.
Okay.
Like most controversial fashion bits, and I'll be honest, that was a half hour's worth of looking at stuff that I just don't want to talk about.
Yeah, fine. Who invented the KKK hood? Big pillows.
I mean,
pish.
It's crap like that.
So I also have a game, but I have another story. So do you have anything that isn't a game? That's not a dig. That's just me trying to structure the show a little bit.
I know. I think we should go with your story, then we can do our games, and then we've got good news. I've got me good news, and
Yay.
I've got me plugging.
Good stuff.
Yay.
We both remembered good news on plugs. I'm proud of us, buddy.
Same. It's almost like we've been doing this for over a year.
After 5 years of podcast and over a year of streaming, we just about have our shit together.
Just.
Like, fucking barely, man. I'm on the verge of tears all the time. Sorry, just writing timestamps. Okay, so I've talked about my day job. I've mentioned it a few times on the stream already. I work in a school. I work in the music department for a school. I am sort of technically kind of teaching staff, but also sort of technically not quite teaching staff. I'm somewhere in the middle. Most of the time, I move instruments around and I fix stuff. That's my whole deal. A few years ago, we were invited to perform at the Royal Albert Hall. Like, actually. I know, very fancy. We had a samba troupe, so like 30, 40 kids playing big, huge Brazilian style samba drums. We went to play at a Music for Youth festival in Birmingham, and the people liked us so much that they put us forward for the youth proms, which is like the proms but smaller. So we were invited to go perform our samba stuff at the Royal Albert Hall, which is crazy. Everyone lost their crap because it's not the poorest school in the world. It doesn't have a great reputation historically. They've only just stopped trying to close it, like in the last 10 years. And yeah, I know. But the music department's always been outstanding, and I'm really proud to be part of that. And basically to have essentially some of the poorest kids in Cambridge go play the Royal Albert Hall is crazy town. So like it is a real super prestigious event. So it's the day of the show. Obviously we've got to drive to London with 30, 40 kids and a drum per kid. So the bus is 3 times the size that we need it to be.
Loud.
Very loud. Double-decker coach. So we hired in a big old coach. We get all the drums set out the night before, and I think I'm up at about 6 a.m. Get to school for 6:15 or something. Like doing registers, like doing last minute checks, doing things like tuning the instruments, even though I know they're going to be on a bus for 2 hours. So like mostly just making sure they're going to survive the journey, because you're not really supposed to move stuff like that, and we can barely afford to keep the drums working, let alone have stuff to transport the drums. So like my job is trying to minimize the inevitable destruction of this expensive equipment.
Make it last as long as it can.
So we've got these 30 drums, and I'm checking each drum individually, and I'm sort of like tightening tuners and stuff, and then like passing it to the person to put it in the van. And there's one drum that's giving me a bit of grief, so I'm sort of like taking my time with it. And then, okay, we've got to get on the bus like in the next 5 minutes if we actually want to leave. So it's at this point I think probably 7 o'clock. So I bend down to pick up the drum, and I don't hear it, but I feel a rip, like just a shh. But it was like I didn't hear it. I just felt something give.
Something go.
And I stand up, I pick up the drum, and I realise that the entire of my gooch on my trousers is just a gap. Just nothing there. So much so that if I stand perfectly straight, it's fine. But if I tilt in any direction, everyone knows.
It's not okay. It's not fine.
It's not fine. It's a safeguarding risk, and it's breezy. So it's the bus is going. The kids are on the bus. Mm-hmm. The last few teachers and staff are loading the kit into the bus. I can't leg it home. I'm just gonna have to spend a day in London at the Royal Albert Hall with no gooch in my trousers. So what happened was I was very still for 16 hours. So we were on the bus at just after 7. I think we got to London. We found the venue, I think, about 9:30. By 11, we were doing sound checks. And then we had to go get lunch. And then basically until the show, which was about 7 in the evening, we just had to stay backstage in what there's like a million dressing rooms because it's designed for huge orchestras and stuff. So I'm just backstage, just sat on the floor with my legs so that I'm like a perfect L shape. So if I cross legs, everyone sees, probably get fired. So I'm sat like in an L shape with my legs just straight out, perfectly aligned in front of me, back against the wall. Sir, do you want anything out the snack machine? Nope, thank you. Nope. Sir, do you want a bottle of water? Nope, thank you. Sir, do you want a coffee? No, thank you. Can't move. Mr. Taylor, could you come and check this thing for us? Yep.
Bring it to me.
So bring it here. So I had to get up to do something techie. I don't know. I had to slide my back up the wall, just maintaining contact with my ass against the wall and just slide myself upwards. Yeah. So we eventually gets to be performance time. The kids go up on stage. They kick ass. They do a great job. And at the end, my job during the performance, my work is basically done at this point. Mostly I'm there for safeguarding and to kind of just check on equipment that might happen to break. So I've got a big bag full of spare drumsticks and drum skins and tuners and stuff. So if something snaps, I can just blah, 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 go and fix it. All good.
Okay.
So my job during the show is basically I've got, there's a few different kinds of drumsticks. So I've basically got pockets full of the different kind of drumsticks, and I'm waiting to see if I see a drumstick break in half, because they're supposed to, at which point I need to tactfully chuck a drumstick at a kid in such a way that they'll hopefully catch it and I won't hurt them or make additional sound. Yeah, I just got to chuck stuff at kids and hope for the best. So I'm off to the side of the stage doing that, and just trying to ignore the fact that the very important people are watching in the crowd, and there's head teachers in the boxes and stuff, and I can feel a bit of a breeze, so I'm trying not to turn too much. But nothing broke, so I didn't have to do anything, and then we get the kids off the stage. Grand finale happens. It's all very lovely, and it's about 10 o'clock on the bus home. We stop off at a McDonald's. We're approaching Cambridge, and I decided to say to the teachers, so everyone, all the kids are upstairs in the coach and they're all asleep, because of course they are. They're knackered, big day, and there's 5-6 teachers down on the ground level of the bus, I guess. And I'm like, hey guys, do you want to know something fun? Yeah, go on. I tore my trousers completely open at 7 a.m. this morning, and they're still there. and they lost their shit, and
they'd not know you'd gotten away with it.
I'd completely gotten away with it.
The whole day.
So, and literally my boss, the woman I work with, was literally I was trying to work out why you were so still. Because I'm not exuberant, I'm not dynamic or anything, but I have more than one dimension that I occasionally use.
You do move.
But I was just completely rigid and still and not bending at all the entire day. And I would only pick something up if there was a wall behind me.
So I mean, kudos.
Thank you. I'm amazed that I made it It was the worst. And then the next week we had a show based at school, and literally the same thing happened, but it was like 10 minutes to curtains, and I was literally just like, mate, I've got to go. This is not happening to me again. So I legged it home, changed my trousers, and came back. Reinforce the crotch.
Wow.
That's the moral.
That, boys and girls, is what's known as a fashion faux pas.
Yeah. Big breezy faux pas.
But
this happened to Crawfordism at work apparently as well. But luckily he works with teachers. Well, excuse me, he works with adults, so it's a little easier. Yeah, adults tend to be more forgiving when you accidentally have your pants out.
I mean, they'll laugh, but there won't be some sort of inquest.
There won't be an inquiry.
Yeah.
So that's the story of my balls. And now we're on to the games. Lovely people. I've been talking for a while. Do you want to do your game?
Sure. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Now, we've done a few games on live streams before, and I tried to make them challenging for you without making them too easy.
Thank you.
So, this game, entitled Fashion! Exclamation point.
Wow, how does he do it? Where do you get your titles, Ben?
That's what it says on the Google Doc.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, it does say that.
I have researched some of the more well-known fashion brands, the high-end, the stuff that you and I are likely to never see outside of a film.
Oh, like the Tesco value stuff.
Well, more
your Primark, yeah. Primark?
No, more Prada.
Sainsbury's. Argos. QD.
See, I would love to ignore you and carry on, but you're the one I'm speaking to, so it makes it really difficult.
Yeah, I'm the worst, huh? Gotcha. Yeah, no, I understand.
We are playing a game of What's Older? To see if you can figure out between some, inventions, some products, some things, which is older.
Okay,
so
I love
Liam,
it.
Are you ready to play Fashion? What's Older?
Got to work on the title, I think, but yeah, no, I'm down to clown.
Cool. Our first. What's older? What is older? Prada or sliced bread?
I love it. Prada.
Prada?
It's like sliced bread is like brand new. Yeah, I think Prada's older.
Very quick.
Thank you.
Very quick response.
Yep.
You happy to go with Prada?
So happy to go with Prada.
Prada is 15 years older than sliced bread.
Nailed it.
Sliced bread, 1928. Prada, 1913.
Yeah.
Mario Prada funded?
Sure.
Established the luxury brand in 1913 in Milan. It started as a leather goods business for trunks and travel accessories.
Ooh. Lovely.
The first automatically sliced commercial loaves were produced July 6, 1928 in, I apologise, Chilote, Missouri. Somewhere in Missouri.
Okay. I thought you were like struggling to pronounce like an Italian name or something. Missouri.
No, it's somewhere in Missouri.
Amazing.
Chillicothe.
Okay.
Chillicothe. Using a machine invented by Otto Roeder.
Outstanding.
Fun fact. In 1943, sliced bread was banned in the US.
Oh. How come?
In the midst of World War II, sliced bread was barred from American bakeries and homes. They weren't doing it because of the baking regulations. It boosted the prices of flour. So to prevent the costs going down to the customer, they just didn't cut them.
Right. Okay.
Much like that pizzeria in Breaking Bad, where they don't cut the pizza and they pass the savings on to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who'd have thought?
Who'd have thought?
Right, Liam. What's older, Chanel or flying?
So when you say flying...
When I say flying, I don't mean like birds.
Okay. What do you mean? Like human flight?
Human flying. Human flight.
And I assume you mean assisted human flying.
Manned plane thingies.
Because you can sort of fly for a bit if you jump off a cliff, like briefly.
Someone getting in a plane and it flying.
Right, okay.
Or Chanel.
Or Chanel. I'm not certain, so I'm gonna game theory it and say probably Chanel.
Now, I was a little bit of a tricky boy with this because
Oh, no.
it's literally months apart.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Oh,
sorry, I should ask what was the first Chanel product? Can you tell me that without giving it away? Without giving away the date? Sorry, that was a weird way to say that.
I've not made a note of the first Chanel product.
I'm going to stick with Chanel. It's fine.
It was ladies' clothes and bags and such.
Okay, women things like pockets that aren't.
So you're
on
going
clothes.
for Chanel. Chanel is older than flying?
Going for Chanel is older than flying. Wait, hang on. No, it needs to be the other way around. Sorry, I asked backwards to my game theory. Sorry, I chose the fashion brand the first time, so I'm going to say flying this time. Sorry, everybody. Sorry.
Okay, so you're saying flying.
Saying flying
predates Chanel.
Yes, but only by months.
Flying.
Yeah.
1903.
Uh-huh.
The pilot was Orville Wright of the Wright brothers.
Correct.
Lasted 12 seconds and went 120 feet.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty good.
Chanel. 1902.
Damn.
1902. It was very, very close.
Cool. I love it. That's fun.
Chanel, I don't know. I think, I'm not sure of their first products, but they have historically revolutionized women's fashion.
By putting the pockets on the outside of the clothes.
Well, ladies' trousers being trendy.
Right, yeah, fair enough.
Corsets not being a thing anymore, really.
Yep.
They were like, no more corsets, thanks very much. They were the first to invent designer perfume.
What makes it designer?
I guess because it's got Chanel written on it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because it was a fashion designer who did it.
Yes.
Can we take a moment to...
Sure we can.
...show appreciation to TV adverts
I love them.
trying to sell perfume?
Right, go on.
Because that's not a thing that's possible. You cannot convey a smell through the TV.
Yeah, but you could say that about all advertising. Like, you want to buy Scale Electrics.
No,
you don't know
see
how
the
much
thing.
fun you're going to have. You can see the thing,
You want
sure.
to buy a car? You want to buy a car? Here's the car. It does this, it does that.
Yeah,
You want a
but...
video game? This is the video game. This is what you're going to do. You want to smell? Here's Johnny Depp burying his jewellery in the fucking desert.
But that's all advertising.
There's a cow.
All advertising is trying to take something that isn't intrinsically tied to its physical appearance and makes it look like it is.
Media and advertising and everything. I'm aware that the whole point of an advert is to make you to buy the thing. Doesn't matter.
It sounds like you're not
anything
aware
else.
of that at all.
Obviously. But for you can't you're advertising the product isn't mentioned in the adverts until the end. It's just like
Right.
and a picture
Okay.
maybe of the bottle.
Right, I understand.
The build up has nothing to do It's Johnny Depp driving through the desert burying his jewellery.
Yeah.
It's someone walking up the stairs. It's a lady on a motorbike.
Yeah. I mean, that's...
None of these have anything to do... Yes, it's showing the power, the feeling. This is how it will make you feel. It will make you feel like a lady in a leather catsuit on a motorbike that is too phallic to be functional.
Yeah, sure. I think that's... Okay, so I take your point, and I thought you were going down the route of why are they trying to tie this thing to an image? Because but then if that was the case, then they would just sell the perfume in like a clear plastic bag rather than a fancy bottle, which I would be down for. But like I think that's quite common with a lot of things. Like banks, for example, will play you like a bunch of stock footage of families with uplifting music. Like, wouldn't it be nice if we could trust people with the things that we want to do with our lives?
Do you remember when we had the money and it was all right? Do you remember the days when you weren't alive and how much better they were for you?
British
Go
Empire.
back to those days by giving all of your money to rich people.
Banking. British Empire. Brass bands. Lovely cup of tea.
I don't understand how we're still getting away with this.
The Lehman Brothers. No telly. Poverty.
I've got some two left. I've got good ones.
Jolly good. I'm glad, because so far you've been shit. You really fucks up, buddy. Where's the good... Nah, I'm joking. Go on, bring it.
Come on!
I don't know.
Flying and sliced bread.
Ugh, boring. Vanilla. Missionary. Come on.
Louis Vuitton.
Oh, yeah?
Or the Canadian government.
Oh, my God. That's tricky. What country is Louis Vuitton based in?
Louis Vuitton. Do you want what it's based in now?
At the time of conception, ideally.
Time of conception.
Asking the big questions here. Obviously, this will help me.
Yes, it was France.
France.
I really wanted to double check that. France. Oh, it's Paris. Oh no, yes, it's Italy. No, it's Paris. Paris, France.
I'm going. I think Louis Vuitton. I think.
You think Louis Vuitton?
I'm not certain, but I think.
Would you care to take a guess at the years of either of these things?
No, like the only thing I can imagine is that like I think the Canadian government is going to be formed like surprisingly recently. I think it's going to be maybe there's a technicality because of that. Like maybe it was just essentially ruled by our Queen. God bless her. But then, like, they had a vote and they got rid of it. I don't fucking know. Like, I reckon there's a technicality involved there with, like, specifically the existence of the Canadian government, and I think that's
cool.
The spiel here. Maybe. I don't know. I'm guessing.
Right. I just know that you're going to ask me more questions about this, so I've just made sure that I've pulled up my notes.
Goodbye.
The Canadian government officially formed in 1876.
Okay. That sounds right. Yeah, I can dig that.
Louis Vuitton.
Was it last Thursday? So close.
Here it is. Louis Vuitton 1854.
I can't remember the first date you said. Did I win?
Louis Vuitton's older.
Okay, great. That's all I wanted.
You did it correct.
Yay. Okay.
Louis Vuitton made leather goods.
Oh yeah.
He was the appointed trunk maker to wife of Napoleon III.
He made Napoleon swimmies.
Well, I think it's more trunks, as in like you would carry your swimming trunks in your trunk, not
Gotcha.
like little pants.
He hollowed out an elephant's nose.
I will say, yes, I said wife of Napoleon III, and I hate it when people go, oh, this person, wife of this guy. Like, no, but
She was also a singer-songwriter.
they're people who do the things. They have their people. Come on, use the fucking names. Having said that, Empress Eugenie de It looks like Empress Eugene de Mojito. Eugene de
Minty.
Mojito. See, that's why I said wife of Napoleon III, because it was probably a lot better.
And
than
here
the
she
mess
is,
I've just made of that
walking down the
pronunciation.
aisle, Princess Eugenie de Mojito.
Eugene de Mojito.
Here to marry Napoleon III. Sounds like I was going to lean into a bit there, didn't it? Nope. Just wanted to do the voice. That's all I wanted.
And you do you, buddy.
Thank you. I will.
Final one.
Bring it.
What is older?
Mm.
Gucci
Mm.
or the Daily Mail?
Daily Mail.
Logic?
If
any?
I don't think Gucci has the same degree, the same pedigree as Louis Vuitton and some of the other brands we've mentioned. I just feel like Gucci is kind of more recent.
Okay.
That's literally, and Daily Mail I think could quite easily be one of the oldest newspapers in the UK or even globally. So I think the thing here is that Gucci is actually quite a bit younger than perhaps we expected.
Newer one.
Maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I sort of
I
don't
can tell
care, but that's my guess.
I can tell you, if you get this right, you win. If you don't,
It's a draw.
you
So
draw with yourself.
I'm at least okay with that.
Gucci,
Mm-hmm.
established 1921.
Yeah, okay, that
Pretty-
feels about right.
Pretty recent.
Like 100
particularly-
years. Oh, 100 years. Happy
With,
birthday, Gucci.
Oh, happy birthday, Gucci.
Big up Gucci
Oh,
gang, etc.
That's a nice one to end on.
Oh,
Happy birthday,
birthday.
Gucci.
Oh,
The
for a
Daily
bother
Mail,
birthday. Vomit. Vomit and scorn.
1896.
Yeah.
And they have not changed their views on the world at all since then.
British Empire. Hovis bread. Copper tea.
Pricks.
Lovely queen. God save the queen.
Racists.
Black people.
Villains.
Black people. Slavery. Tight penny dresses. A doodad to put in your hat. Again, I don't know. Not voting. Entrenched servitude. Yeah, no, I'm out. I'm done. Yeah, I won.
Yay, you won.
Hooray.
You
Good
get
stuff.
to wear clothes. for the
Thank
rest of
God.
your life.
I'm not naked and alone again. Thank God. That would have been awful. Good game there, Ben. I love the historical twist you've put on fashion there, and that's essentially what I've done as well for this game.
Sweet. Let's get it going.
So I've got four questions. Basically, I'm gonna say an item, and you're gonna choose from A, B, C, or D. What people or person or duo is credited with the creation of this particular item. And the thing that sort of inspired me to look into this was that I think it's quite common knowledge that Hugo Boss is credited with the creation of the Nazi uniforms. So I just wanted to see if there was anything else like that. I wanted to try and develop a game where Ben had to guess what wrong un from history accidentally created something we all love. Like Converse were created by also Hitler. I don't know.
Wow.
And none of these are like.
I love it. I love the idea.
That was the idea.
concept.
There's very little drama in the fashion world, apparently. Certainly historically. So, okay, question 1. Which peoples invented the corset? Is it A, the Bronze Age Minoans, B, the Iron Age Egyptians, C, 15th century Europeans, which is the Elizabethan era in the UK, or D, a gender-swapped Heston Blumenthal? Who invented the corset? Bronze Age Minoans, Iron Age Egyptians, 15th century Europeans, or a gender-swapped Heston Blumenthal? Celebrity chef.
Helga Blumenthal.
Certainly.
Now, I know... What a surprise, I know things about corsets.
Bloody hell. Stupid goth.
I know that they were originally whalebone.
Yes,
Which
sure.
I believe it wasn't actually whalebone, it was the baleen, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think ones made out of metal would be particularly good, unless they were sort of for purposes other than aesthetics. So when you said 15th century Europeans, that sounded more close to what I have in my head of the early corsets than the other ones. So I'm saying 15th century.
It's hard not to imagine like Elizabethan nobility without a corset, isn't it? Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, you fucked up, Ben.
Ah.
It was the Bronze Age Minoans.
Really?
Yeah, really. Minoans are the
Can
earliest.
you tell me something about them?
The earliest civilization we know that had corsets. Minoans were the ancient peoples of Crete and the Aegean Islands, so southern Greece, and they had corsets. Yeah.
Were they made from bronze?
It sounds like bronze is the only thing they really had. Maybe it was made of fishbone. Although I think it must have been made of metal because there's archaeological evidence, and I don't think you can really have archaeological evidence of
That would be
degradable
fossils.
things. I could have researched that more, but I didn't.
No.
Bronze
Cool.
Age Minoans.
Bronze Age Minoans.
Question 2. Who is credited with the name for the Trilby hat? So the name of the Trilby hat. Is it A, Russian pornographer Alexei Volokov? B, Franco-British writer and Franco-British cartoonist and writer George de Marier? C, Austrian surgeon and hat maker Dr. Benoit Trilby? Or D, American rock vocalist Axl Rose? I fucking love making quizzes. Who is credited with the name of the Trilby hat? Is it Russian pornographer Alexei Volkov, Franco-British writer and cartoonist George de Marier, Austrian surgeon and hat maker Dr. Benoit Trilby, or American rock vocalist Axl Rose?
Now I feel like Benoit Trilby, the hat maker, may have been thrown in to dissuade me, possibly
Maybe.
to make me think that it is him when it isn't.
It's a bit
Or
heavy-handed, isn't it?
It could also be making me think that it must be him because he's the hat maker, so I won't pick him.
Sure.
But even though that is him, I would like to go with the Russian porn star, please.
Oh, I didn't say porn star, I said pornographer.
Sorry, the Russian pornographer.
Thank you. It is B, I'm afraid. Franco-British writer and cartoonist George de Marier. George de Marier, in the stage adaptation of Marier's novel entitled Trilby, a character in Trilby wears a hat, which I guess didn't have a name. There wasn't a name for this style of hat. It was like an adapted fedora, basically. Mm-hmm. So it became known as the Trilby hat.
The Trilby.
The hat that appeared in the stage adaptation of George de Marier's novel Trilby.
Cool. I wanted to go with him
Yeah.
I wanted to guess that, but my brain was just like, yeah, but pornographer's funnier.
It is much funnier.
It's
Not
just
as funny
funnier.
as Dr. Benoit Trilby. I was rather pleased with that.
Benoit Trilby was great. If that had turned out to be the inventor of the trilby,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And if I believed that it could be.
Yeah.
But, right, next time I'm going to go for what I think is the right answer, not the one that I think is funny.
Incidentally, there's two. Not incidentally, it's unrelated. There's 2 spam bots in our chat currently. I feel like if you could make us famous, you'd probably throw in a little bit of that fame for free, just to give us a taste, get us hooked. You know, just saying.
Yeah, I do want to become famous. AE3BB954C894.
And your friend.
ZK123456PAS56 from Big Follows space COM.
Yeah. Close brackets.
The brackets
exclamation
also make
mark.
it not a hyperlink.
Question 3. Who invented the miniskirt? Is it... Okay, because it sounds like you might know this.
I didn't say anything and I forgot I was on camera. My arms just flailed about because I was looking at vintage things earlier. Oh, God.
Okay.
I might actually get this one.
So you might get this one, but also I'm screwing with you with the names here. So is it A, fashion designer Millie Quant? Is it B, fashion designer Maggie Quant? Is it C?
Oh.
He was so pleased. Is it C?
No.
Is it C, fashion designer Minnie Quant? Or is it D, fashion designer Mary Quant?
That's so not fair.
Yeah, I thought this might be the one you get, so I was like...
Oh. As soon as you said Millie Quant, I was like, yes,
Nailed
I
it.
know it. I've got it. Perfect. Fantastic. And then you just said... Quant was the bit that made me go, yes.
Yeah.
So what were they...
So
it wasn't Mini Quant.
So who invented the mini skirt? Is it A, fashion designer Millie Quant? Is it B, fashion designer Maggie Quant? Is it C, fashion designer Minnie Quant? Or is it D, fashion designer Mary Quant?
I don't think it's C or D.
Okay. Because...
well, because I don't think she was called... It wasn't Minnie.
Okay, fine.
The dress
Yeah.
wasn't named after her. The dress was named a mini skirt because it was shorter.
Yeah, gotcha.
And D, unless you're being a dick and just putting all of the not answers, or the daft answers as D, and now you're putting in the right one.
I mean, I'm like, it's interesting.
But if you're doing that, I'm not going to bother thinking, oh, he's doing that, so I have to second guess everything.
So
I think
I'm going to make it worse for you. I quite like using game theory, and so when I don't know an answer, it tends to help me. So I'm a real twat when it comes to arranging the correct answer of questions. So traditional game theory will not help you.
No, I know.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm trying to ignore it.
Okay. Good.
Millie
Quant. It was D, fashion designer Mary Quant.
See? And I'm not even angry because I knew that was something that you were going to do.
Yeah, sorry. So
why didn't I go for that? Because I didn't. Because if I trusted you, and you would have made me look a fool, and then I would have been hurt.
I wasn't deliberately trying to screw with you when I did that. I couldn't be bothered to think of 3 more fake names that were as believable. I couldn't be bothered to think of 3 more fake names and jobs that were as believable as fashion designer Mary Quant. So
I'll be honest, that was fantastic. That was possibly the best thing you've ever done.
Oh, I completely agree. Like, it's game over from here. I'm going to retire. By retire, I mean become homeless.
I was looking through it, and I have the picture of Twiggy in the mini, and I was like, "Yes, I know this."
Yeah.
But you just said the same thing.
Yeah, we're big fans of Schadenfreude on this podcast.
Yeah, and it was funny. but I hate you.
Yeah, fine. It's called a miniskirt because it's short, but actually she stuck with the name miniskirt because she liked the car, the Mini Cooper.
Oh.
So yeah, because it's small, but also Mini Cooper, her favorite car. Okay. The question 4.
Question 4.
Which duo created camouflage? Is it A, Marshall Mathers and Sir Bentley Q Horndogger? Is it B, Colonel Coote Manningham and Lieutenant Colonel William Stewart? Was it C, Baroness Cordelia Smythe and General Patton Green? Or D... Thank you. I didn't think anyone would get that. I'm so pleased. Yes. Relatable content. Or is it D, a Bristolian dog called Kevin? Those again. Which duo created camouflage? Is it A, Marshall Mathers and Sir Bentley Q Horndogger? Is it B, Colonel Coote Manningham and Lieutenant Colonel William Stewart? C, Baroness Cordelia Smythe and General Patton Green? Or D, a Bristolian dog called Kevin?
General Patton Green.
I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased. Or am I fucking with you? Is this another misdirect? Nominative determinism, if they're actually called General Patton Green, that would be rad. What do you think?
I mean, it's not a dog named Kevin. It can't be Patton Green. What was it? Marshall Mathers. That's Eminem. And what was it? Hornswoggler?
So Bentley Q Horndogger. No, Eminem was born in like the 70s or 80s. Like,
yeah.
This is a Marshall.
Be weird if the dude who came up with. Oh, Marshall. Oh, I see. Sorry, I thought that was his name, not his rank.
Oh, I don't know. They might be fictional.
Yeah, I don't think it would be Marshall. I don't think it's A. I'm gonna go with B because
Colonel Coote Manningham and Lieutenant Colonel William Stewart. Is that because that's the only one that isn't kind of a joke?
Well, it's the only one that I can't understand to be something that you would find funny.
Yeah. Yeah, my sense of humour is really unrelatable.
I feel like this is the last question, and I've only just understood how to start playing the game.
Yeah, 100%. You're right.
Cool.
It was Colonel Coote Manningham and Lieutenant Colonel William Stewart. So the British 95th Rifles. I've done my research. This is sincerely the earliest type of camouflage that I can find. And it still isn't really technically camouflage. But basically, the British 95th Rifles, the Prince Consort's own, were the first military organisation to wear green jackets, which would allow them to hide on the battlefield. Certainly more so than the bright red British military uniforms that their colleagues were wearing. Manningham and Stewart, it looks like I started a sentence there that I didn't finish. Manningham and Stewart were the leaders of the 95th Rifle, or they created it, and it was kind of a like a specialist, kind of like we'd call them snipers now, I guess, but they weren't really. They used a different kind of rifle. They wore the green, so they were supposed to be a little more covert. So I don't have information about whether Manningham and Stewart necessarily made the uniforms, but there must have been a decision process at some point. Hey, give them green so they can hide. If you've ever seen Sharp, then you'll be familiar with the idea. The 95th Rifles is what Sharp's unit are based on, because they have the green uniforms. They use a different kind of rifle. They're sort of a little more covert. They do behind the enemy line stuff. And their green uniforms are like remarked upon by dickhead officers quite a lot. They should be wearing the red uniform. They shouldn't be wearing the green uniform. I'm doing a lot of voices today. I don't mind it.
Do you know what? I saw where it was going and I let you be there.
Thank you.
Whatever makes you happy, babe.
I don't know about happy. Occupied. Yeah. So that's the earliest version of camouflage that I could find, and it's just wearing dark green. That's all it is. Ben, you got one. You got one.
Yay!
I'm super proud of you.
I mean,
I don't make games that are achievable to win. I make games to entertain myself and throw in stupid wordplay that I'm kind of certain people won't get. So honestly, like, I'm real proud that you got General Patton Green. Like, I'm honestly thrilled about that.
That's great. Next time I'll just have to think, I'll have to think how Liam's thinking. Or not even how Liam's thinking. Let me think how Liam will think that he can get over on me without being too obvious.
Yeah, it's really important to me that I win, even if it's not a competition.
Try and get the right answer.
Yeah. I think that's the end of our fashion stuff. So shall I press the button for the good news?
Press the button for the good news, baby.
Good news, everyone.
I love that the good news button, the stinger is ever so slightly too long. So whenever I press it, I'm like, I fucked it. And then it's fine. My good news. India, I'm sure you've heard in the news, India ain't doing so well with the whole COVID-19 situation. And I stumbled across a story. The richest man in India, Mukesh Ambani, has repurposed a number of his factories to produce liquid oxygen, which he's providing to COVID patients for free. And he's got so many factories doing this that it's able to provide oxygen to 1 in 10 COVID patients in India for free. Which is pretty rad. Good for you.
That is pretty good news.
Let's not dwell on how did he become so rich. Let's just focus on the positive.
Yeah. This is always a bit of an issue when you're trying to think of, hey, here's some good stuff. Here's people doing nice things.
Yeah.
And turns out that they may not have done such nice things.
But he's got a nice big smiley face, and like he's giving away oxygen, so like let's not worry about it. It's all good.
Yeah.
Have you got a bit of good news for us, buddy?
I do have a bit of good news for you.
Oh boy.
I'll be honest with you.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to tell you about this guy who's giving 1 in 10 people in India some oxygen.
Are you serious?
However,
okay.
I do also have a. I'll be honest. I clicked on this, but I didn't actually read it. New
panicking
building,
to find new good news.
New buildings. They shall be called ply scrapers.
Oh yeah.
Being built with timber.
Yeah.
Instead of metal and concrete, etc.
Yeah.
And this will save on so much CO2. Because you can go, oh no, trees are getting cut down. Bad. Yes. However, trees are being built.
Building trees. They're getting leaves off the ground. They're gluing them to twigs.
They are growing these trees for building, these building trees, if you will. So they will have to grow to get to a certain mass, a certain size. They will be soaking up CO2 all of this time, and then you're not getting all the crap from the steel and the concrete and all the other stuff that you would have to be making to make skyscrapers.
Yeah, rad. I love it.
Google it if you want more ins and outs of the information on either of those things. We just like saying, isn't this nice?
Yeah. My plug. Everyone's been talking. I mentioned this earlier. I can't remember if that was in the podcast or in the preamble. Everyone's talking about Line of Duty, the BBC series. I recently started watching it from the beginning, and it's pretty good. Like really, I've sort of binged up to season 3. I remember watching the first episode years ago, like literally, I think it came out like 2014 or something. So it's quite old, and like the first series is like visually a little bit dated, but the content's still really good. A few years ago, I did try to watch the first episode, and for some reason, it just didn't grab me. But I tried it again. So if you're watching from the first episode and you're not into it, I'd suggest try persevering through that first episode and then just giving it a go. It's all up on BBC iPlayer, so it's freely available. A little box will come up that asks you if you have a TV license. You can just click yes. Just click yes. Yeah, it's really good. There's some people are saying that the final episode, which aired recently, is either not so good or the ending's a bit obvious or whatever. I don't care. I'm not up to that, but yeah, don't care. So far, so good. Season 3, still good.
Nor am I. But the creators have stood by it.
Yeah, fine. Which I dig.
This is how it. Look, can't go as bad as Game of Thrones now, can it? Can it?
Probably not. Probably.
You know, Matt Smith is going to be in the new Game of Thrones thingy.
What's the new Game of Thrones thingy?
It's like House of Dragons or something.
Oh, okay. Okay, right. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, it's him in a blonde wig. He looks odd.
I'm into it.
I don't know anyone who's going to watch it because season 8 was such a big kick in the nads.
But who's creating it? Is it the same team that did the Game of Thrones series, or is it a different team?
I've not cared enough to look. I'll be honest with you.
Because if it's the same intellectual property but a different set of creators, yeah, I'll give it a go. Because like the production quality is amazing, like all the way through. It's just that the writing of the show is no bueno. But that's a very small amount of people's fault. It wasn't poorly acted. It wasn't poorly produced.
Oh no,
it was just poorly written, and it wasn't even the actual writer. It was the people adapting it who suck. And there's many YouTube video essays about it.
Oh yeah, this is not original thought on the internet.
I'm pretty sure I've never had one of those. Go on, Ben. What's your plug?
So now my plug was going to be along the lines of therapy and taking care of yourself mentally,
That's a good plug.
And mental health, and how this is important, particularly now. But I think even just like people can meet in parks now.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to the pub and sit in the garden for a drink, book a table. Don't just turn up.
Yeah. Don't be a dick about
busy.
it.
Of course it's busy.
Yeah. What do you expect?
Come on. But
people haven't forgotten how good pubs are, have they? It's been at the forefront of everyone's mind. People know. It's not a secret.
But yes, you can go out now as long as you're responsible.
Yep.
And I think that it's important. I went and saw some friends yesterday, socially distanced, open spaces, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, we hung out, we chatted outside for a few hours. We had a couple of drinks. It felt normal.
Nice.
It felt much. It felt like a nice big sort of getting out of the shower after you've had a very hot, long day. It felt refreshing. It felt good to be.
Nice. That's cool.
And it doesn't always feel good to be at the moment because things are a bit shitty.
Yeah.
But you must remember that it is good to be, and you should keep being.
Keep on being.
Go and be socially distanced with your friends, enjoy their company, and relax a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't relax your social distancing, none of that.
No.
Don't say that I'm going out, I'm not saying go out licking people or
Don't lick
whatever.
people. No.
But go, speak to your friends, make sure they're okay, make sure you're okay.
Yeah.
You'll feel better.
You will, absolutely. Good stuff. Right, I'm going to go to the script to wrap up, and then, as there's a few of us, we're going to go raid a fella, because we can. So here's the end spiel. Ben, what's your social of choice?
My social of choice currently is Instagram at Spike Pierson, Pierson for Pierson. I'm going to have to do that now every time because whenever I ring people or I go and get prescriptions at the doctor's, is it P-E-A? No, it isn't. That's Pierson.
Yes,
Pierson,
that's a different
the son
thing.
of a peer, a jutting wooden structure going out to sea, had a baby, it was a boy, and that is me.
It's a different thing. Wonderful stuff. I am at LT Guitarist, all places. I use Twitter the most, at LT Guitarist. You can find more Conversation Hat on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Convo Hat Podcast, all one word. We do these live streams every month on Twitch and YouTube. If you want to sub to us on Twitch, that would be wonderful. If you want to tell a friend, that would also be wonderful. Our Discord is a very cool place to hang out. We put links to that all over the place, especially on Twitter. If there isn't one there, you can ask us and we will put it up. We'd love to thank our Patreon supporters who've helped develop the show over the years. Patrons get early access to episodes and an exclusive single question mini episode every time we have guests. Rock and roll. Here's how the raid's going to work. We're going to go see Hiberno Way, who is a...
Wait. Before we do this...
Oh, gosh.
I have written on my bit of paper, because I keep notes and I do have the information. It's not stored in here, but it's somewhere.
Yeah.
Our next live stream for this will be the 6th of June.
Good stuff.
Do you remember what we'll be talking about? Because I've got it written right here.
No.
The sea.
The sea.
We've gone from such vague things, from fashion to the sea.
The sea. Okay.
There's going to be nautical nonsense, and I think there might be a sea shanty or two.
Yes. Promises were
But we'll
made.
have to find out.
Okay.
We'll have to be there.
Folks, here's what's going to happen. We're going to go raid Hiberno Way. Hiberno Way is a lovely chap. He looks through Wikipedia on stream. That's the show. It's a laugh. It's a nice, chilled occasion. What would be wonderful is if we go there, say hello, refresh your browser. If you're watching on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, nothing's going to happen. So be polite to Hiberno Way. That's going to transfer in about 8 seconds. And I'm just going to keep talking while that happens. The YouTube stream will remain up. Thank you so much for your time, people. You're all beautiful and lovely, and you smell nice.
None of you are spare.
None of you are spare. As far as I know, we have successfully raided Hiberno Way.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's worked. I'm going to press the end stream button, okay? Bye, folks. You're all cool.
Take care. Peace out. Blah, blah.
Olive. Vegetable. Rapeseed. Almond. Coconut. Lavender. Palm. Crude.